If you can't get your IELTS speaking right, you are in a lot of trouble. But hey, don't worry, this is where I come in. I'm gonna show you an easy way to take your IELTS speaking a notch higher to an improved level. So let's get started. When it comes to your IELTS answers, it's always like this. You have to give an introduction, you have to kind of like speak out the body part of it and then conclude your answer. That's how usually any answer is. So when it comes to IELTS speaking, for the introduction bit, start by paraphrasing the topic cue card. Let the examiner know exactly what you will be talking about. Okay? Once you've done that, provide a brief overview of the idea of whatever the topic is. Okay? Add a little bit of a statement there and you'll be good to go. Okay? So that's your introduction. Super simple. Keep it simple just like that. Now, moving forward, the body paragraphs. Now, these answers or these bits of the answer, this is kind of how you want to go with it. First of all, provide 2 to 3 ideas with examples, okay? So that's what your body paragraphs should be like when you're talking. So, once you've given the introduction, start by talking about the first point, okay? So when you're talking about these points, use connectors such as firstly, moreover, additionally, furthermore. So the first topic or the first point that you talk about, use firstly. That's a good connector to use. Go with it. Use it if you can implement it in your answer. And when you talk about the next 2 to 3 ideas, use moreover, use additionally, and furthermore to start those topics. Okay. Next, incorporate idioms or phrases, to enhance your language usage. Basically, that's kind of like what you want to do. But do keep in mind, if you do not know how to use some idioms properly, leave them out. And it's also like, very contextual. So it's all about what, when, where, why, how. Like, you have to remember that when you're using any of the idioms. Okay? And finally, use topic-specific vocabulary. So the vocabulary that you will use for something, for example, about environment is going to be totally different for something about technology. That's like 2 different topics, they'll have different vocabulary. So make sure, you use the words that kind of make sense. Okay, now let's quickly have a look into this framework. So when you're talking about the first, like the first point, so you've done the introduction, right? Introduction is done, and now you're ready to talk about the first idea. So when you're talking about the first idea, say firstly, and then lay down the main point, provide some details and examples, right? So that's kind of like how you'd say, so use that. Now, once, when you start providing details and examples, use these words. So when you're talking about an example, say, for instance, that's a good one to use, okay? Then share like a quick anecdote or an experience. Or you could, here's an example. For instance, I went to a friend's wedding just a few weeks ago, and I think they wasted a lot of money because it was such a big wedding, too many people there. Okay, so you get the gist of it, right? That's how you want to use it. Once you've provided, the details, the example by using for instance, use this clearly illustrates, right? And then make the main point. So that's what you want to do. Use the word firstly, then talk about the main point. When you're talking about the point, give examples using this word here, for instance. And once you've given an example, then use this word here, this clearly illustrates, point 1. So you get the idea, right? That's how you want to use it. Now, when you go on to your second idea, you can say moreover, then give your main point, okay? So that's how you start your second idea. You give the main point. And when you're talking about details and examples for this, you can use similar words like for instance or for example, or here's an example. Use that, okay? And then share whatever the experience is, and then talk how that experience illustrates your main point too, okay? Finally, when you have the third idea, use the connector additionally. So use additionally and then say the main point 3, okay? Once that is done, provide some examples and details and then say furthermore if you want to expand more on your point 3, right? If you want to add more details, use the connector furthermore. So, that's pretty much how you can connect your ideas. So that's how you connect idea 1 to 2 and idea 2 to 3 by using some words here, right? That we spoke about earlier as well. So this is how we use firstly, moreover, additionally, and furthermore. So this is how you use these connectors, and you can use this framework with pretty much any answer. That's the beauty of it. So go for it, right? Now, let's quickly look at conclusion. When we are talking about a conclusion, we want to summarize the whole idea, the entire bit of it, okay? So summarize all those points briefly. And finally, end with a closing statement or a reflection related to the topic. Just kind of just give a brief statement on what you think or what you felt. Keep in mind, this is not the time to talk about new ideas, because then that would become senseless. So try to keep that in mind, okay? Now let's have a look at how you can do it. So when you start with a conclusion, use to conclude. That's the connector that you want to use, right? And then reiterate your 3 main points, and then give a reflecting statement. So here's an example. Overall, whatever the cue card topic is a fascinating subject that encompasses various aspects, and it's crucial to delve into it with an open mind and consider different perspectives. Now, keep in mind, this bit here, do not use it as such because it would be very vague. Keep this more personal and make it more to the point for the essay, for the speaking answer. So there you go. That's how easy it is. That's a simple framework that you can use for IELTS speaking just with any cue card, really. So there you go. Now you know how to make these answers. Hey, if you have any friends who are struggling with this, struggling with how to create these cue cards, share this video with them. And of course, subscribe. We'll be sharing more information like this for you. So yeah, hope you enjoy this. Good luck with your exam. I'll see you in the next one.